Hi, Larry Knopf here at LO Smart Marketer, and in this video we're going to talk about the virtual online meeting. We'll talk about what it is, how to use it, and why it's so important to use a unique tool like this in your daily routine. First, I wanted to tell you how glad I am that you've taken the time to come and watch this video. You know, a common denominator among the most successful people in our industry is that they're always open to new ideas. They're open to any idea that can help them improve their business. They look at the idea, they evaluate it. If they like it, they implement it, and they implement it right away. If they don't like it, they let it go and they move on. So I'm glad you're taking the time to come and check this out today, and I hope you like what we talk about today. You know, if you've been in the business since prior to 2008, then you've seen a lot of big-time changes in our industry. Prior to 2008, the industry had lots of different ways that you could sort of distinguish yourself from your competition, ways you could stand out from the crowd. Back in those days, we had the subprime industry for people that didn't have good credit. We had the Alt-A industry. We had the conforming, jumbo, and we had the government loans. And there were so many loan products, and you could really kind of pick niches that you could become sort of an expert in that niche, that loan product niche, and that could become your brand. You were the go-to guy for that thing. So there were people in our industry that became real experts at working with people that were coming out of a bankruptcy. They just came out of a bankruptcy, or they just came out of a foreclosure. We had people in our industry that would niche themselves in the, no income verification, or the no doc, or the stated income verification marketplace. There were people that niched themselves with creative financing, where you had seller-held seconds and all kinds of crazy things like that. But there were a variety of things you could do to really distinguish yourself from what everybody else was doing in the business. Once the real estate market crashed in 2008, though, all that went away. The subprime industry went away, the Alt-A industry went away, and we were all relegated down to just a handful of loan products, conforming, jumbo, and then a couple government loans. And I will tell you that having great service and great rates wasn't going to cut it anymore. That was a given. If you couldn't do at least that, you were gone anyway. So then the challenge became, what can I really do to differentiate myself from what everybody else is doing in this marketplace? And one of the things I learned to do is to implement kind of new, cool, cutting-edge technologies in my daily routine. And that's what I use to sort of stand out from the crowd and create unique loan experiences. And the virtual online meeting was the very first thing that I did to create a unique experience and create a new brand for myself. Now, the virtual online meeting is a combination of sort of two technologies. I'm combining a webcam and I'm combining a desktop screen share program. And let me sort of paint the picture for you of what it looks like. And I use it predominantly when I'm talking to a prospect on the phone. So let's say that a prospect has called me, or they've been referred by a realtor, and they want to get pre-qualified. Before I even pick up the phone, the first thing I do is I turn on my webcam. And you're seeing the video that you're watching today is just my webcam up on my desktop. So this is exactly what I do. I bring up my webcam when somebody calls. I pick up the telephone, we say our hellos, and the very first question that I ask my prospect is, do you have access to a computer that's currently turned on? I don't want them to go to a computer and have to boot it and wait 5 minutes or 10 minutes for that thing to come on. So I ask them, do you have access to a computer that's currently turned on? And if they say that they do, I say, well, I'd like to give you the opportunity to share my desktop. That way you'll be able to see everything I'm keying into my system today. You'll be able to watch me crunch numbers. If we happen to pull credit, you'll see me pull credit, and you'll actually look at the credit report live with me, just as if you were sitting right here in my office. Would you like to do that? And the overwhelming vast majority of people say, I would love to do that. So the first thing I do is I send them an email. They click on a link in the email. They click a run button. It takes them to a website. They type in a password that I'll give them over the phone, and within 2 seconds, they're on my desktop. Whole process takes, I don't know, depending on how long it takes them to get the email, I don't know, 2 minutes maybe, and they're on my desktop. Now, most people are familiar with desktop sharing, but I do something a little bit different. I've got my webcam on. So when they come on my desktop, what's the first thing that they see? Well, they see me, and it's live. And although they might be familiar with this desktop sharing thing, maybe they aren't prepared to see me. So catches them off guard a little bit, and people go, "Oh, hey, is that you?" Or, "Oh, I see you," and it kind of tickles them. So I say, "Yeah, I just thought it would be really nice if you could associate a face with a voice," and everybody appreciates that. So then we just go right into my pre-qualification discussion. When I'm ready, I open up my originating software. I happen to use Calyx Point. I open up my originating software. I start keying in stuff. And then something that's really cool. Most people have never seen a credit report pulled. So I go ahead and pull credit with them on the phone with me, and they watch it. And here's what I really like about doing a virtual online meeting and pulling credit. And maybe you've experienced this in the past, where you're on the phone with somebody and you're just a voice on the phone. And you're trying to go over their credit report with them, and sometimes it's almost like they're fighting with you. Almost like they don't believe what you're telling them. I paid that off, and no, it can't be right. I paid that off. Well, the virtual online meeting completely eliminates all that discussion, because they're going to look at the credit report right with you. And when you go, "Oh, here's a derogatory kind of collection down here to this company," and the most they'll say is, "I paid that off. That shouldn't be there. I paid that off." But you never get into that almost antagonistic thing where they almost don't believe you when you're telling them what's on your credit report, because they're looking at it with you. So from there, we finish up our presentation, and I usually will minimize the originating software, and then we're back to them seeing me on my webcam, and we finish up our conversation that way. And I will tell you, I've done this with so many people over the years, and I've done this with people that have done many, many mortgages. I can't tell you how many people have said, "You know what? I have done many loans in my lifetime. You're the first person that's ever done something neat like this with me, and I really appreciate it. This was very cool. Thank you so much for doing this." I had one girl who was an RN, and she didn't want to work with me because I was an hour away. And I said, "I've got technologies to solve all this." And I told her about the online meeting, and she was excited to do it. So when we set up the time for me to call, she had her laptop at work, and she ran out of the building and sat outside and brought me up on her laptop, and we did the whole presentation there, and she was thrilled. She loved every minute of it. She was so tickled with this, and she said, "Thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciated this." So that's the whole idea of the look and the presentation of the virtual online meeting. Now, why is this so important to use this? Well, number one, it creates a very unique loan experience for your prospects. You can use this with realtors. Send them an email if they want to have a discussion about something, a document or something you see on an appraisal. Send them an email, they click it, they come onto your desktop with you, and same technology. I guarantee you they'll be impressed. So it does create the unique experience, and it starts branding you as kind of the technology, cutting-edge technology loan originator that does kind of cool stuff and creates that unique experience. The second thing that the virtual online meeting does that I have found that's a real benefit of it is that it helps bond you more to the prospect than if you're just sitting here with your headset on or a voice on a telephone. Because people being people, they're going to connect with people that they have the most sensory connections with. So if they can hear you and see you, you're going to make a stronger connection with that prospect than if you're just a voice on the telephone. When they see you, they see your face, they see you laugh, they see your inflections, and they can just make this real connection as if they were sitting right here in your office. And I will tell you, once I do a virtual online meeting with a prospect, it is a rare occasion that I lose that prospect to a competitor. That is a rare occasion that happens. So that's the whole idea of the virtual online meeting. In the second video, I'm going to go over all the steps you need to do to actually set this up and implement it into your daily routine. So once again, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.